Hello viewers and welcome to another match of Warhammer 40,000 Conquest. My name is Mitch and I am the Hive Tyrant. Today I've got my 5th week game for Sam Mann's Black Crusade. It's the spring 2016 season of his Conquest LCG competitive online Octagon League. Today I'm playing against Octagon user It's Drake, aka Dustin Drake, aka the only player to go undefeated during the 7 consecutive rounds of Swiss during the Conquest LCG 2015 World Championships. I'm War, he's going to be Kith. I've played against Kith maybe 3 or 4 times in my life. So let me go ahead and think about my opening hand. Ridiculous odds here. I got all 4 copies of Anxious Infantry Platoon. I've also got a copy of Talon Raiders, Snakebite Thug. But let's see here. Planet number 1 is going to be the green healing planet Iridial. I might be able to pressure that pretty heavily with several of my units. 3 planets on the board are going to be green. Planet 2 is going to be Karnath, which would allow me to do something like a forced random card discard or the Planum thing. Aatrox Prime is nice to see versus Kith. So what do I have to worry about? I've got initiative, so if I were to send my Warlord and an Anxious Infantry platoon to planet number 1, I'd be pretty good there. How many opening deploys could I do? I could do 1, 2, 3, I could do 4, which is pretty good, and those are all pretty strong units. I'd probably be incentivized to send War to Barless, just because I want to be able to get cards is basically what I'm thinking here. So I think if I were to hypothetically put a platoon at 1 as my first action to get around a possible Siren Zithlex, I'll do that. I'll probably put another platoon here at this planet, and then I'll just kind of load up a bunch of stuff on Barless. So be sure to let me know in the comments what you'd have done differently. I feel very much like a man facing death, so I will say I think I will keep, and we'll have to see how I do against Dustin Drake. But will he keep his mulligan or not? So my first deploy action is going to be laying down a copy of Anxious Infantry Platoon. I've already made up my mind. Kith is definitely going to favor card choking. Kith has got a questionable hand, at the very least. I can take solace in that. And really all I know about Dustin as a player is he very much favors the Murder of Razorwings type playstyle. So I think I will go ahead and start off. I've got a green planet here, so I'm going to go ahead and lay down one of my Anxious... Well, I guess I could do an Anxious Infantry Platoon, or I could simply do a copy of Talon Raiders. Maybe it would be a little excessive to do... Let's see. So Talon Raiders could attack for 3, but then they'll need a Warlord present at that planet. They could also get picked off by Packmaster Kith if it's like just my Warlord at that planet. So if I do a platoon, I can have them sitting here, and then if Kith shows up opposite, she's not going to be able to kill them in a single swing. They'll be able to hit Kith for 4. The planet's currently under contest. Oh, god damn it. Okay, so Kith's Chimera Masters are at this planet. So is this going to be something to kind of get me to overinvest in that planet? Does he want my Warlord to show up? What exactly does he want to do? So at present, he's tied me on command. I suppose for victory conditions, I would want to do like 1, 3, and 4. All right, so Talon Raider and Anxious Infantry Platoon. It's going to be in Kith's favor to try to win this planet here. So maybe I'll put another platoon at that planet. I suppose I could also send my Warlord to Barless, so why don't I'll do a platoon, another platoon, and then Talon Raiders, and we'll just kind of see how that goes. So I'm going to go ahead and drop an Anxious Infantry platoon here at this planet. I'm going to hope that Kith doesn't have anything along the lines of Incubus Warriors or Slith Mercenaries and things like that, just because that would be pretty frustrating to deal with. I guess the earliest possible victory condition for Kith is going to be the exact same as mine. If one of us were to take planet 1, 3, 4, that would be a win through green. Planet 1, 2, and 4 would be a win through blue. We've got a Void Pirate that's going to be positioned at a non-green planet. So I don't want Kith to be able to draw a large volume of cards, but I myself am going to probably want to show up at Barless. But do I want an Anxious Infantry platoon at that planet? I could do another platoon to planet number 1, but then that's probably going to be overkill. The Tallarn Raiders by themselves aren't really going to be able to do anything. I do have a 1-value shield card in hand, so why don't I just see... okay, so... Comment, people, more experienced players than I'm thinking of planet number 3 for my Tallarn Raiders. Another reasonable option might be Aatrox Prime, but I'm just not sure. I just know that I'm going to get out-competed in regard to damage if I try to contest Packmaster Kith by myself. But I think I want to do Anxious Infantry Platoon at planet number 3 because I don't want them to be routed, and if Kith shows up at that planet and War shows up at that planet, like I'd love to randomly discard a card from Kith's hand, and yeah, I guess I'm just at a little bit of a loss, but I'm going to do my son of a bitch. Okay. So Slith Mercenary is at planet 3. If I have War go to that planet, I'll be able to pretty much guaranteed kill the Slith Mercenary, though I can't necessarily purchase control of it. I'll just have to pay pretty close attention to what Kith ends up with. I suppose I thought about putting Tallarn Raiders here at planet 3 because I could have used a summary execution to shield a point of damage off of them. So I'm going to do Tallarn Raiders, but where do I want it to go? Do I want it to be at planet number 1, or do I want it to be at planet 5? So this is tricky because Kith has still got 3 resources, so she can take advantage of just information that I don't have. I think what I'm going to do is... let me see. So I'm going to say thinking. I'm tempted to put it here, opposite this Void Pirate, just so I can block off Kith from winning a couple of cards in a resource. If Kith shows up at planet number 1, she'll be able to attack, and really all I'll be able to do with my Anxious Infantry platoon is kill off something. Kith isn't really going to be able to benefit from healing, so perhaps I feel like that's probably the best bet. So I'll drop my Tallarn Raiders there at planet 5, and now I guess let's just see what happens. I guess best case scenario... fuck. Another copy of Slith Mercenary, so that is just absolutely fantastic to see, with Kith beating me there at 2 planets, and yeah, that sucks. So is that going to be... Kith is possibly going to be winning at planet number 2, 3, 4, and 5 here, so let's see what happens. I guess I don't really need to draw cards. Okay. So let me see. Where do I want to go? If I go to planet number 1, all I can really do is draw 1 card and presumably kill off this Chimera Masters. Where is Kith going to go? Kith currently is not. I guess Kith could show up at Aatrox Prime. If I go to Aatrox, I'll get a card and a resource. If I win at Planum, I'll be able to move a unit, but that's probably not going to be too tremendously useful. Kith is presumably not going to be showing up at Barless because she'll be taking damage from my unit. A random card discarded from my hand isn't going to be that big of a deal. Broderick wouldn't be that great at Planet 2. So perhaps Kith is going to be showing up at this planet here, Atrox Prime. So I guess I really don't know what I'm doing. I think I'm going to go to planet number 5, and we'll just see how things turn out. So, Kith, all right, let's just flip over our dials, and let's see what happens. So, he has chosen where to commit his Warlord. He did choose planet number 1. Very interesting, I suppose, but that is going to be a whole lot of command won by Kith, not a whole lot of command for me. Feeling a little bit discouraged at the moment, but it's totally fine. I'll go ahead and win command on this one planet here. I did get a copy of Troop Transport, which is nice. But Holy Mother of God, Kith got 5 cards and 2 resources, and I'm having flashbacks to a couple leagues ago when I had to play against Corvus, and this is looking like it just might turn out to be a complete nightmare. So really, all I can do with my Anxious Infantry platoon is I think I'm going to want to try to remove a Chimera token from this planet. So I suppose I will indicate that I'm done. Let's see combat here at planet number 1. So I will just say, for me, no actions prior to combat. I'll just say your swing. So it's going to be all up to Kith to deliver an attack, and my Anxious Infantry platoon is going to be handily dispatched here. But really, all I can do is perhaps just try and kill off one of these Chimera tokens. So I've taken 2 points of damage. We'll see if Kith has any action. He indicates that he does not have an action, so I will swing at this ready Chimera token just because I don't want him to reach critical mass of Chimera. I do attack for 4. I could have killed the Kith's Chimera Masters. Oh, god damn it. Fuck. Okay, so what I should have done is, I should have attacked the, anyways, what I should have done is I probably should have attacked his, Chimera Masters, or because if I could have cleared them out, he'd have had to shield the Chimera tokens, because of course I'm going to win a battle at Atrox Prime and fire at his HQ. So you can't make mistakes like that when you're playing against a player the caliber of Dustin, and yeah, so the game is definitely not looking good, and we'll see if all is already lost. Really wishing I'd have killed that Chimera Masters, because that was a terrible mistake. Wish I could take that back, but of course that is not the case. So that about sucks, but I guess Dustin's just got 2 resources. He's going to potentially be able to do Archon's Terror or something like that. Not that there's really any point for him to do that. So I take a swing at his Void Pirate, and I'm sure it will die. I will indicate that I've got no actions. And again, I suppose I will say I will target HQ. Really wishing I'd have attacked the Chimera Master. Alright, and then I'll do a little disappointment emoticon. Come to the end of a combat round already. That guy I'm going to bounce away from the planet. And I suppose that is going to be our first round. So I'm going to indicate that I'm done. Dustin's got a planet type icon of each kind. I will end the turn, and let's see if there's any hope whatsoever for me to salvage this game. I've got 5 resources relative to Drake's 6. I got a Steel Legion Chimera and a Snakebite Thug. Kith has got a fair few units on the board, so I'm going to have to block off a possible victory condition here at planet number 3 for Kith. So, already feeling pretty terrible about this game, but we'll have to see how things go. It's going to be his initiative. He's got 9 cards in hand. I'm sure that's going to be a lot of shields. Let's see if I have to run up against Archon's Palace or anything along those lines. It would be fantastic if I could somehow afford to purchase control of either of these Slith mercenaries, but I don't think that's going to be tremendously likely. I guess for my action, I've got Snakebite Thugs in this deck. Clearly, Siren Zithlex is going to be at planet number 1, so that means that I'm basically going to be forced to forego planet number 1 unless I do something really sneaky. There's not going to be any point to hold on to this. I could do a troop transport at that planet, but it's not green, so I could only generate a 1/2 Soldier Trade Guardsman token, which is about garbage. I guess I forgot about raids, so it's going to be -1 resource for me, +1 resource for the already doing really well economically player Dustin here, and it's looking like this is going to be a very easy win for him to go 5-0 in our series so far. So I've got my regionals Friday, and not feeling great about that, but let's see. I've got 4 resources left. I'm going to want to try to wall off his victory if I can. We're both split down the middle for resources. If I can win planets 2 and 3, then that will be a couple of green icons for me. I'm not feeling too much like I really have to heavily deploy to those. Let's see, I could do a copy of Snakebite Thug at 5. I would be quite tempted to send Broderick to that planet, but I kind of need my resources more than I need anything else. So it's going to be really important to block off blue icons. So I think I want to send Broderick to 4 and drop a Snakebite Thug at 5. So my thought process here is maybe I'll get the cards with this, and I want to be able to activate Aatrox Prime on planet 4. So Bloodied Reavers is going to be, yeah, so that about sucks. Okay, so that's a nice little block. So if my Warlord was to go to planet number 4, I would risk a big blow from the Bloodied Reavers because they could attack me. And I'm sure that Dustin has got, an abundance of cards in hand, shield cards, that is. So I'm feeling okay about planet 2. Let's see. So the earliest possible victory condition is going to be for Kith here at Planum, but that's also going to be a kind of desirable destination for Kith to show up at, just to, kind of block off my win condition here. See, I don't know if that was a good idea either, doing the Anxious Infantry Platoon, because I've got my troop transport that could have helped out at that planet, so perhaps what I should have done in hindsight was put a copy of Snakebite Thug at Aatrox Prime. I am going to go ahead and pass, and we'll just see how things go for Kith here. I suppose with my Warlord, I'll be committing myself to planet number 1. Doesn't really make a lot of sense. I suppose I could go there just to get the guaranteed card and resource. Kith is looking to get, at least, probably, okay. So currently we're tied. The most Kith could possibly get is just 1 resource. If Kith goes to planet 1, Let me think here. So we're tied. There's only going to be one resource on the board that Kith is guaranteed to win, so Archon's Terror isn't necessarily going to be a thing if I arrive at planet number 1, and that might be a reasonable opportunity to actually deal a little bit of damage out to Packmaster Kith. So I think I want to send my Warlord to 1, but then I don't get to trigger this battle ability. But is it going to be worth giving up an effect? Because if Kith gets 2 resources, which Kith will get 1, and then maybe Kith will get something else. So let me think here. I guess my concern is Kith showing up at this planet and War showing up at this planet, and then that would only be 1 resource for Kith, or... yeah, so I think I just want to send myself to the last planet, and please let me know in the comments what you think I should or should not do. I'll indicate that I am done, and let me go ahead and flip my dial. Kith also shows up at planet number 5, so maybe I did something right here. I guess let's go ahead and figure out command. Kith does generate one of those accursed little chimera tokens. That's going to be the only planet that I win cards at, and of course the card bonus is going to be shut off, but at the very least, Kith doesn't have the opportunity to gain really much of anything from that. I want to take a swing here, and I'll be trying to kill off the Chimera token, and then I will just deal with Kith as best I can. So I suppose we can move on to the combat phase. The battle at planet number 1, I guess we're going to be seeing Planum perhaps move this Bloodied Reavers to planet number 5. I did not honestly think about that, but I suppose there's really not that much I can do to block that off, so I'll just indicate that I'm done. I will say planet is yours, grats. And I guess let's just see this Bloodied Reavers reposition to planet number 5 to take a swing of 5 directly at my Warlord. And it looks like this is going to be pretty handily won by Kith this game. So impending crushing defeat here. So Karnath is going to be added to the victory display here of our DE player. That's going to be 2 red and 2 blue icons for Dustin. And then I guess I'll just have to try my best to block off his win at Planet 3. For some reason, he's taking a moment to add Karnath. Let's see here. So I will just say I did surmise as much, and no worries. Feel free to capture planet. All right. And that is going to be that. So, in regard to combats, we're going to be seeing a battle at this planet. And of course, Kith does happen to possess the initiative token. So, if it's not abundantly clear, I'm not really feeling as if there's anything I'm able to do in this video, so just let me know in the comments if there is anything you'd have done differently. For Broderick, I could discard Summary Execution. If he hangs around, I am going to have to retreat at some point. Really, the only thing that the Snakebite Thug can do is just try to deal a little bit of damage to some of these units. So I suppose I will just go ahead and do the, whoops, okay, so I'm going to do 4 points of damage on Broderick, and let me go ahead and pull 1 resource off of him, and then in regard to just actions, let's see if Dustin has anything. So he indicates no actions. I suppose I may as well be like, okay, so let me see if I can kill off this Chimera token here. So the reason I'm attempting to kill the Chimera token is I swing for 3. Wow, so he's got his signature attachment. That about sucks. So 3 minus 3 minus 3 is of course 0, but I figured he didn't have his 1 copy card. So let's see. So he indicates he has no action. I'm going to take a point of damage. I'll discard a copy of Summary Execution as a shield. And now for me, I suppose we'll see if Dustin has any action. So I'll just indicate that I do not have one myself. And now I'll be about to remove myself from this planet. So I'm going to go ahead and retreat. And now it's going to be his Kith here. So I'll just indicate that I'm done. I'll indicate that I'm done again. That will be into the combat round. 2 points of damage on the Snakebite Thug. And unless Dustin's got a card that I'm not aware of, I will just go ahead and retreat, and then that's going to be an opportunity for him to remove himself from that planet. So I'm just going to go ahead and retreat my unit here, and I will say I will retreat. Congrats on the planet. And he'll have the opportunity there to activate his battle ability. I guess he's already at this point, as soon as that battle ability goes through, he'll have drawn a total of 8 more cards than me, which does not bode well. It's going to be my 0 resources, 2 cards, versus his 1 resource and 7 cards versus a much more favorable board state. So at planet number 1, it doesn't really matter what happens at that planet. He is probably going to be incentivized to show up at planet number 3 with his giant horde the following round, just because it's a much squishier target than Planum. But if he's got Klavex War Leaders in hand, then he could potentially just force a victory on planet number 2. So, or rather, our soon-to-be planet number 2. So I'll indicate that I'm done, and let's go to another HQ phase here. And we've got Steel Legion Chimera and Sakhalem Shrine Guard. So his victory condition planet is potentially going to be this blue one here. He's currently got a total of 2 command icons at planet 4. So where exactly is Kith going to go? I presume Kith will arrive at planet 3, and Kith is going to be arriving with some exhausted stuff. If I send my Warlord to that planet, I'm basically going to have to retreat straight away. I could do a Shrine Guard on Ossus 4 just to try to collect some resources, and I think that's what I'm going to do. Even my troop transport on my victory condition planet really isn't going to be helping me much. So I think I'm going to see planet number 1. Who knows what's going to happen? Oh god. Okay, so it's going to be forced random discard. So I will randomly discard a Steel Legion Chimera. And I guess it's going to be back to me. I'm going to do a Steel Legion Chimera, and I'm going to go ahead and put that at the planet where I think Kith is most likely to go, just so I can at least try to deal some damage to that Dark Eldar Warlord prior to Dustin ending up winning the game here. Very interesting deck inclusion here. I've never played against Murder of Razorwings. I've only played against Kith a few times. But I've definitely never played against Twisted Laboratory, and that's not going to be too terribly useful against me as an AM player. And wouldn't you know it, that's going to be another copy of Slith Mercenary positioned at that planet number 5 there. So things are going from bad to worse for poor Hive Tyrant. I'm sure I'm not doing things optimally at all, but at the moment we'll see what happens at planet number 1. really all that I've got to put up against Kith is going to be a 2 attack value guy, or sorry, a 4 attack value guy. I'm sure that Kith has a glut of 2 shield cards in hand, and Kith is looking to get all the more during this upcoming command phase. So where do I want to send my Warlord? I could do planet number 3, or yeah, planet number 4 would probably, well, I guess that Rogue Trader is now at 4. Is that where Kith is wanting me to go? I'm going to be losing command at 1. I'm tied at planet 2. That Archon's Palace is going to be able to hurt me. Maybe Kith wants me to go to planet 4. That's why the Rogue Trader's there, just to Archon's Palace, shut off the cards. That way I only get 1 resource. I guess it really doesn't matter too terribly much. I think it might be good for me to go to planet 4 just to block Kith from getting those cards, or I could drop off my Snakebite Thug at Aatrox Prime, and when that is the first planet, I will have initiative so I can attack with my Thug. So maybe I will do that. And again, I'm sure it's probably not optimal, but why don't I do planet number 3 just to try to block off a victory condition here. So I will indicate that I'm done. Let's go ahead and flip, and okay, so looks like Kith goes with 3. So I'm going to be showing up at that planet, and let's see what happens with Kith. So Kith generates a Chimera token, and I'd better hope... Let's see, do I get to win command on any planet? Planet number 1, I lose. Planet number 2, I tie. Planet number 3, I do actually win. But I can only imagine it's going to be cards that I'm going to be deprived of, and then at every other planet I fail. Interestingly, he says deny the resource, which I suppose is fine. So I will just say okay, and he's going to be winning a whole hell of a lot of command. So let's see. I'm going to go ahead and just draw 1 card that is unfortunately going to be irrelevant to combat, and that means I'm going to have to retreat with Broderick as my first action, lest I get picked apart by Dustin here. So, I suppose I will indicate that I have no actions during the command phase. As soon as Dustin indicates the same, note that he does not have enough resources for Clavak's War Leader, but he does have enough for Archon's Terror, which is definitely something I would not be surprised to see on this Steel Legion Chimera. Just something to keep in mind, I suppose. So going into combat, I don't have any actions whatsoever. I'm going to save my troop transport for this other planet. I will go ahead and attack his Slith Mercenary for 4, and I guess I wouldn't be shocked if I end up winning the first planet, because this Murder of Razorwings isn't really going to be able to do too much against me. So I do manage to kill his one little Slith Mercenary there. The Murder of Razorwings deals a point of damage to me. I indicate that I don't have an action, and I guess we're going to come to the end of the combat round, and perhaps he's going to end up retreating, but we'll have to see what exactly is going to happen. He indicates that he's done. I will say I must stay. Stay. And let's see if he retreats. So he does retreat. And I will say, activate battle ability, please. So let's see what the opponent randomly discards. Hopefully it's going to be something like a Clavak's War Leader to just deprive him of something. It's an Archon's Terror, which is actually nice, because I was thinking that would end up being a big problem here. So for the first time this game, I do manage to capture a planet. My Anxious Infantry platoon bounces to the HQ, and now we've got a battle at this planet. I'm going to indicate that I don't have any actions, and then I'm going to be essentially forced to retreat with my Warlord here. So I'm going to go ahead and remove my Warlord from the planet. He's exhausted from retreating, and now it's going to be the Dark Eldar player's opportunity to presumably attack my Steel Legion Chimera or my Snakebite Thug. Hey, wouldn't you know it, I spoke too soon. Twisted Laboratory does do something in that the Steel Legion Chimera is blanked. So that's a little bit annoying. I'm going to go ahead and indicate that I don't have any additional actions. And now let's see it. Are the Tallarn Raiders going to be killed? They do only attack for 2, but they are unfortunately going to be outright destroyed. I will indicate that I don't have any actions, and now I could deal a little bit of chip damage to Packmaster Kith, or otherwise I could try to dismantle some of these targets. Let's see. So I'm going to be able to maybe wound Siren Zithlex, and if I wound her, then we come to the end of a combat round, then I'll have an opportunity to attack first. I just really think I need to try, if anything, to kill off Siren Zithlex. So we'll have to see what exactly happens with that Dark Eldar unit there, just because if I can't deploy any non-exhausted units to that planet, my odds of winning this game goes from, like 1% to 0%. Although, if we're honest with one another, my dear viewers, my odds of winning this one are already at 0%. So, just kind of going through the motions at this point, but at least I'm trying to make this over with quickly, and to no one's surprise, why didn't I think about that? Snakebite Thug is killed by Kith, and now it's going to be, should I retreat or not? I suppose all I've got to see is one single 2-value shield card played by Kith, and that's going to be this Siren Zithlex surviving. So do I want to stay or not? I suppose I may as well stay at that planet. So I think I will... I think I will stay with my Steel Legion Chimera, because I will, at the very least, get the opportunity to attack first. I'll presumably get a chance to deplete my opponent of one 2-value shield card. So let's go ahead and see it. Do we have Raid, Suffering, or, I was thinking it would either be Raid, Suffering, or Shadowfield. I'll indicate that I've got no actions, and now it's going to be up to Kith to deal a couple of points of damage to my unit. I'll indicate that I don't have any actions, and then that's going to be Kith swinging again, and my unit is going to be destroyed, and that's going to be the battle won by Kith. So that is going to be a bloodied Warlord, which I guess, I was not paying attention. I was not tending to the planet. I guess in my mind, I was not thinking that I was fighting an Aatrox Prime. So in hindsight, I may as well have kept Broderick at that planet and took a swing and dealt a point of damage. So I will call out... okay, so that is totally my mistake right there. But, I guess, I don't know if you want to call it being on tilt or whatever else, but maybe I've just lost myself to despair. But that's going to be a bloodied copy of Broderick Worr, so my anxious infantry platoons, all of a sudden I have to worry about being able to keep them in play. Do note that the victory condition for my opponent is going to be this planet number 1 here, so I indicate that I am done, and at this point, let's go ahead and end the turn. So that is definitely a regrettable mistake that I've made there. I've got to block off planet number 1, and I've got to try to block off planet number 2, if there's just anything I can do about it. So why don't I... at this point, the game is essentially lost. If I win command on any planets, really it's just going to be the Archon's Palace depriving me of some resources. So I could do, let's think for a moment about where Kith is likely to go. Kith has got 7 resources, 8 cards relative to my 4 resources and 4 cards. So if Kith could go to planet number 1, but Kith would take a lot of damage. That's probably not a very good idea. Kith is just going to play it safe, and Kith is going to pile up a whole hell of a lot of units at planet number 2. Kith herself can pretty much show up anywhere. Kith could go to Eloith just to win that bonus, or Kith could arrive at planet 4 just to try to block off my bonus there. I could do Sanctioned Psychers, but there's not going to be a whole lot of benefit to that. Really, any units I put into play are going to be arriving exhausted. So why don't I And this is difficult because there's not really anything good that I can do. I can either overinvest in planet number 1 and everything is going to end up being killed during the following round, or I deploy everything pretty heavily to planet number 2. Kith shows up at that planet to activate a battle at that location, and then I end up not doing well there either. So why don't I just do... I think I'm just going to deploy a bunch of units at planet number 2 just for them to get picked apart by Dustin Drake. So lessons I've learned thus far is don't do cheap actions like troop transport to let your opponent use raid. Mother of God. Okay, Solarite of Vetus. So that's going to be some incentive for me to probably deploy too heavily to planet number 1. And you know what? Like, I may as well just kind of do what Dustin maybe wants me to, because that Solarite of Vetus is flying. I'm sure his hand is going to be absolutely full of shield cards, and I'm going to have to pay the forced reaction of these anxious infantry platoons to keep them at that planet. I probably don't want to send Broderick Worr to planet number 1 because I'll just have to run him away from that planet. So I may as well send Broderick to, like, I guess if I go to planet number 2, I'll just have to retreat and then my units will get shot. So why don't I maybe go to planet 3, because that way at least I'll get that one resource, even though the card bonus is probably going to get shut off, and the Bloodied Reavers, they're not going to be able to kill me in a single swing, so things are looking pretty grim, but I think I'm going to go ahead and do it like this. I don't think that Dustin is going to be able to win at planet number 1, but we'll see how things go. With troop transport, I wouldn't be terribly surprised. So I'm going to end up sending myself to planet number 3. Dustin sends himself to planet number 2, so he's going to be able to trigger Aatrox Prime, blast all these units as they enter my HQ, and it looks like we are tied, so it's going to be 3 versus 3 at planet number 1. Here at planet number 2, is he going to shut off resources or cards? I wouldn't be surprised if he did resources, just so that I wouldn't be able to fund both of these anxious infantry platoons to be kept in play. Oh, Christ. Okay, so wow, who was looking at the wrong side of the table here? I was totally thinking that this rogue trader was my benefit, so wow, that is absolutely terrible, but I mean, it's not as if it made a huge bit of a difference, but I guess that being the case, I may as well have sent Broderick to planet number 1. We'll see if he's got any command actions. I don't presume he does. So he indicates that he is done. God, that was an egregious mistake. So I do request your patience with me in this video, my dear viewers. I appreciate anybody patient enough to watch it this far in. I think the outcome of today's match is abundantly clear at this point. Battle at planet number 1 is going to be ongoing. And I guess I'll just indicate that I don't have any actions. Twisted Laboratory is not going to work at all in my opponent's favor here, so he's going to have an opportunity to attack first. He's got 4 resources and 7 cards, so maybe I'll get a little bit of a mercy killing at this planet, and a Clavex War Leader is going to end up destroying me or something like that, so I'll be sure to attack with whatever unit ends up being wounded. Because this is kind of a little bit of a nightmare here, so I indicate that I am done. I don't have any actions. I can't really think of what my opponent is considering action-wise. Okay, right, so Archon's Terror. I'm going to go ahead and remove one of my units from the planet, and I suppose now I know that he does not have a copy of Clavex War Leader in hand, so because War is bloodied, that's going to be another copy. That's going to be another anxious infantry platoon removed from that planet, and it's looking like this is indeed going to be the GG shortly here at planet number 1. All I'm going to be able to do is create a couple of guardsman tokens, so it's going to be his opportunity to swing. That's going to be 2 points of damage dealt to my Snakebite Thug. I suppose I may as well just try to kill off his Slith Mercenary, because if I hit Solarite of Vetus, well, I mean, maybe I may as well just... I think what I want to do is I'm going to indicate that I don't have any actions because I'm trying to kind of speed him along. I'll have the Snakebite Thug take a swing at the Slith Mercenary. Do we have a shield card to block this effect? I suppose, shockingly, it survives, and now it's going to be Solarite of Vetus' opportunity to take a swing here, and this is actually going to be killing my Guardsman tokens, just splashing off of Solarite of Vetus. So I guess he indicates that he is done. My unit is going to be done. Unless he's got any actions, I'm just going to pop my troop transport. So I presume he's not going to be doing anything since he doesn't have any really eligible targets or anything like that. So it's a little bit out of turn, but trying to rush my impending doom here. I've got my 2 Guardsman tokens in play. I will just go ahead and indicate that I am done, and I will attack him momentarily, and I'm about to just impale myself upon Solarite of Vetus. So do you have any actions, Dustin, or can we hurry up and conclude our match here? He indicates that he is done, so I'm going to go ahead and take a swing, and then as soon as that damage resolves, it is killed. So I'm going to go ahead and discard that Guardsman. And now, does he have any actions? He's all out of resources. So there's not going to be a 4th copy of Archon's Terror in his deck. So he indicates that he is done. And now I'm going to go ahead and take another swing at his Solarite of Vetus. And I'll go ahead and put 2 points of damage on my Guardsman token there. That is going to be destroyed. I'm going to go ahead and indicate that I am done, and I will just say, GG, Dustin. Awful performance on my part, but a huge congrats to you. I will say best of luck in going undefeated. I will say time to do my video outro spiel, but take care, and congrats again. All right. So, my dear viewers, thank you very much for your patience. That definitely was not my best performance, but I fell behind very early on economically. As is abundantly clear, I don't consider myself a particularly talented player, so any of you experts, any of you veterans that happen to be watching this video, please let me know in the comments what you would have done differently. How could I have tried to salvage things? I'm sure there was probably at least 2 or 3 or 4, maybe a half dozen things that I did wrong that definitely bit me in the ass. So let me know in the comments section, how could I have possibly stood a chance against Dustin's formidable Packmaster Kith. Those early Slith mercenaries really sucked. But, of course, I don't want to make any excuses. Would you have tossed my opening hand? What exactly would you have done differently? I go into these league games feeling so much stress and anxiety, feeling like I have to win, so I suppose it's almost a little bit of a relief to be put back in my place by a much more talented player. So, a tremendous congratulations to Dustin Drake. Hopefully he will end up being one of the scarcely few undefeated players to make it through to the top cut of the Black Crusade. Thus far, my record is, I suppose, a concession by game not played on behalf of one of my opponents, and 3 wins and 1 loss. So, perhaps if I win my next game, I'll be able to make it through to the top cut, but if I don't, then it's less stress and less work for the Hive Tyrant. So, again, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit the like button. If you dislike this video, I still derive some benefit because any form of engagement increases the odds that someone is going to be stumbling upon this content, so even that thumbs down button does benefit this channel. But yeah, let me know what you thought. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already done so. I promise most of my videos are far better than this one. But if you want to get in touch with me on social media, feel free to do so on Twitter or on Facebook. And if you feel sympathy for me, if you have any inclination to help support the Hive Tyrant, I would be deeply appreciative were you to even make a 50-cent a month donation to the Patreon page. It all goes to cover my file hosting and operating expenses, and I definitely appreciate every cent that I take in. So, Once again, thank you for watching, and as always, be sure to check back in again soon for much more, much better Conquest LCG content to come.